It is Thursday, the 23rd of July, 2020. Baseball is back. Baseball got their shit together before Dave. It's good. Except I don't particularly care that much. So, that and bidets, swingers, aluminum cans. Pretty standard shit. Complaints and observations.
The greatest podcast hosted by someone who knows so precious little about almost everything. A journey into the mediocre mind of an exceptionally average person. This is Complaints and Observations with Dave LaPointe. Who the hell is Dave LaPointe?
Oh. So, hello. Welcome to episode 23. It's the Michael Jordan episode, where that'll be the only time I mention Michael Jordan. It's just a number thing. Yeah, I'm a little bit more prepared today than I was on Monday. I feel a shade better than I did on Monday. Monday, I kind of felt like shit. Today, I still feel a little shitty. I told my wife I might have the Rona. I doubt that, but we'll get to more Rona talk later. However, here I am, 23 episodes into this nonsense, and I realize that I have yet to mention that yours truly is an ordained minister. I mean, I should be using this platform to advertise my services as the 5-minute man. Not in the way that you think when you hear that term, you sick fuck. But my ceremonies are typically 5 minutes long, which, quite frankly, is the best. I have done, I want to say 10, maybe 11, which, you know, I'm sure most of the people that are listening to this are aware of this, but I mean, I did this whole thing on a lark. I was living by myself at the time, shit-faced, high as a kite, playing around on eBay, and sure enough, there it was. Get ordained for $15, and I was like, fuck yeah. Boom, did it, and now look at it. It seems at least once, I mean, it's been once a year. Christ, how long has it been? 2004? No. Maybe I want to say like 2005 or 6 is when I actually got ordained. And so the first few years, nothing happened. It was just a joke. Ha ha ha. Then my buddy Jeff and his fiance at the time asked me to marry them, and it has just spiraled out of control. Out of control. It's fun. I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. So, if you happen to be one of the 3 people, and by the way, my audience has dwindled from 4 to 3. One of those 3 is my wife, so this means nothing. But if you are in need of service, please let me know. I can perform in Massachusetts, Manhattan, and is that it? That might be it. Yeah, I think that's it. But it's very easy. Most states that are above or north, I should say, of the Mason-Dixon line don't have weird rules and restrictions on who can marry who. Apparently in Tennessee, it's like, oh, if you don't belong to that church, you can't be ordained by the church. Fuck you. Fucking religious nonsense. It's all scam. But yeah, Reverend Dave. There it is. I can't believe I hadn't mentioned that yet. Funny. But yeah, so a few things I wanted to talk about a handful of complaints and or observations. If if our coin shortage story from Monday wasn't riveting enough, I just got done reading an article that now there is now an aluminum can shortage in America. That tells me a couple of things. One, we're not recycling enough aluminum cans. So recycle your aluminum cans. Get your Meemaw to recycle her Coke cans and her Diet Coke cans and bring her change to the bank. But apparently, according to a handful of sources that I've dug up, apparently one of the factors is White Claws and assorted seltzer drinks. I mean, it makes sense. It makes some sense. But you have, these large fucking conglomerate brewers cutting back on production. So if the brand sucks, they're gonna cut back, which makes sense. I mean, what's the point of using your limited, dwindling supplies of aluminum on brands that don't sell? It just kind of the shift in from glass to aluminum was weird. It's easier, obviously, to produce product in cans versus glass bottles. But another riveting conversation for a podcast, which is precisely why my audience has dwindled from 4 to 3. So if you're listening to this by some miracle, please know that these little tidbits that I see are basically just from me dicking around on the internet and seeing the story. Why is America running out of aluminum cans? Well, 1, we're stupid. 2, we drink a lot. There you go. I just wrote the whole article and it was 2 seconds long. So, however, I got a text message from one of my more faithful listeners, Brian. Thank you. He sent me a text that basically said, let me pull this up because I need to say it precisely because it's fascinating. Let's see. Ever notice folks have Adirondack chairs in their front yards? Do you know why? And he goes into producer mode and says, research that one. This will be a great observation. So my instant reaction was, maybe they're covering a sewer cap or they have no design eye. Meh. All right. Reasonable. Oh, no. He decides he's going to... He did the research, apparently. Comes back and says, 2 Adirondack chairs on your front lawn indicate that you are a swinger. I mean, what? It's pretty funny. It was so funny. He wrote it twice in the same text, that same line. So he must have been excited by that. And then he probably texted his wife saying, hey, let's get 2 Adirondack chairs on my front lawn pronto. He probably didn't do that. Well, anyways, now I had to do the research because, I was somewhat intrigued. Well, apparently there are a lot of signals that you can give to your neighbors that just scream, hey, we happen to swing. The 2 Adirondack chairs are one. A gold pineapple on the steps. Now, apparently this is a Florida thing. Mainly in the over 55 community. Because venereal disease runs rampant in those places. Don't believe me? Google it. It's gross. These old people are fucking constantly. Just add that to the list of reasons why Florida fucking sucks. Let's just cut that whole state off and let it float into the ocean. Fuck Florida. Gross. White rocks. So if you have white rocks in your yard, not like boulders, but gravel, decorative white rocks. That's a sign. Women wearing anklets, gold anklets, is a sign. Dudes wearing black rings on their thumb, so like a black thumb ring, red flag. Something called pampas grass. Apparently, this is an English thing. Pampas, pampas grass. That if you have pampas grass, which is some kind of like tall shrubbery type thing. Shrubbery's not right. It's a plant. And it's got like a white, not feathery, but kind of fucking white top. I don't know. It looks like a dandelion almost. And then if you put your car keys on the bar at the Scarlet Oak Tavern in Hingham, Massachusetts on a Saturday night, that too. Heard that one for a while. But what the fuck is going on here? That'd be an interesting topic for a show. Let's get a swinger on the show. Apparently, there's a dude that lives a couple of doors down from us that allegedly runs in those types of circles. Maybe I'll knock on his door and see if he wants to be on the show. It's so funny. That seems like a lot of trouble. Like a hassle. It just seems like, couples deal with their own bullshit. Now you're gonna bring some other couple's bullshit into intertwine with your own bullshit? Well, what kind of sense does that make? I don't particularly get it. But yeah, holy crap. All those different signs, and my guess is that there's more than that. There's probably way more than that. But those are the only ones that I could dig up quickly. And it all started from Brian's observation of 2 Adirondack chairs in the front yard. Brian lives in a rather affluent, or somewhat affluent, South Shore, Massachusetts town. And it makes me wonder what the fuck is going on in that town. Everybody's fucking, apparently, over there. But just I don't know. The rabbit hole I went down was not something I really wanted to dig into, but I needed to know more about the whole advertising of hey, hey man, I'll fuck your wife if you fuck mine. What's up? Oh, I noticed you had 2 Adirondack chairs. Hey, sweet pampas grass. Yeah, weird. Dudes in general are weird anyway, so I can't say I'm entirely surprised. So, time for the fairly standard Rona discussion. Just because, look, it's like the only fucking thing really going on today. Hopefully, starting tomorrow and next week, there's going to be tons of fucking sports. It's going to be weird and awesome. The fully anticipated race for the first multinational pharmaceutical conglomerate to come up with a vaccine for this crap. Ooh, excuse me. Woo. Coffee burp there for you, huh? You like that? The race is on. Who's going to be the first shitty company to come up with what is likely to be a shitty vaccine on the quick? Oxford University apparently came up with a good one that's moving faster than the rest. So it'll be interesting. But yesterday there's a couple of reports about some of these pharmaceutical companies deciding, hey, we're gonna sell the vaccine. Well, okay, that's terrific. Nice job. I'm gonna sell the vaccine, as if healthcare and pharmaceuticals in general in this country weren't a fucking complete joke. Now you're gonna have these companies, a couple of companies, Moderna out of Cambridge, Massachusetts, the People's Republic of Cambridge, really just sort of spitting in the face of the People's Republic. Like, ugh, 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 tuh, phooey to you. Phooey, yeah, it's a good word. Who's already received $500 million in federal funding. They're going to make their vaccine and then sell it for a profit. What are we doing here? Pfizer is another one who said they're going to sell it for profit, but they haven't received any federal money. So, all right, I get that. That one I kind of understand. It's the outlay to produce the thing, and I think Pfizer was the one that they just got like the $2 billion to actually, yeah, $2 billion for 100 million doses. Now that's only if if it works. So leaves plenty of room for decent profit, according to this website, fiercepharma.com. I'm sure they're a above board organization, fiercepharma.com. Yeah. Anyways, so I find that very interesting. It's one of these things that I look at and just say it's dirty pool. And this kind of goes back to my point on Monday about the complete lack of empathy that permeates the country nowadays, and essentially they want to profit off the corpses of 145,000 Americans, more or less. Yeah, I mean, I think so. I can't pretend to be an expert on pharma, but it seems a tad ghoulish to try to make money off something that will both save lives and simply end this entire nightmarish scenario that we're currently in. Look, people still know who Dr. Salk is. Okay, you don't, I do. He created the polio vaccine 65 years ago, and apparently legacy is not enough anymore. Billions upon billions of dollars is all that seems. And there's no end in sight. It's never going to end. One of these is going to come out, and then you're going to see a bunch of copycats, and it's going to be a whole big fucking market-driven nonsense, and it's never going to end. Like, I keep saying to myself, I'm trying to be positive when I say, all right, yeah, look, we'll have to sacrifice for a year, and then hopefully we'll be back to normal. But the country right now is just all red. It's gross. And it's all going to get locked down again. We're all going to end up in the fucking house again for another month plus. You finally have the president saying, look, you should wear a mask. Oh, you're like 7 months late, bub. But look, it could all be rendered moot. Oxford University's vaccine seems to be leading the way, which ultimately leads me to believe that there's no way it's going to be used here. They'll find it. We'll be left on an island to rot away while the rest of the world is inoculated and can finally continue going about their lives. I will not dive deeper into this, as Complaints and Observations is officially politically agnostic. Let's talk about bidets. I've mentioned bidets previously. I got a text message from a friend asking me, how is your bidet treating you? Wonderfully. I believe Tushy Bidets got a free ad early on. So here's another one. Tushy Bidets. Seriously, you should have one. Every household in America should have one. Less toilet paper, Less garbage in your septic system or your sewer system, cleaner assholes. It's all a plus. It makes no sense. And look, you can go back to the whole, well, I don't want to be European. Yeah, you're a fucking clown. The Europeans have clean assholes. We don't. I do. You don't. Filthy animal. Bidets. So I mentioned baseball. Opening day is today on the 23rd of July. Fucking 3 months overdue, 4 months overdue. Wild. And listen, Mookie Betts just signed an extension and he got everything he deserved. And the Red Sox fucked up. Now listen. There are going to be a lot of people that say, he doesn't deserve it. He didn't want to be here. Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. None of it is accurate. You are worth what the market is willing to pay. And in this case, it's 13 years and roughly $400 million. So, that's what he's worth because that's what he was paid. And the other thing is, too, he is an exceptional baseball player. You just don't see that type of player anymore. 4 straight seasons of at least 100 runs, 40 doubles, and 20 home runs. It's him, Robinson Cano, Albert Pujols for the longest such streak in the expansion era since 1961. I mean, just seeing that alone should be enough. And he's won 4 Gold Gloves. He can run. You won an MVP. Like what fucking more do you need? If you're trying to win baseball games, these are the kind of guys you love to have around, right? But apparently, the Red Sox felt differently and traded him for a fucking bag of balls and some bazooka gum. It's odd. For a number, in the Dodgers, for all their big money spend, I mean, they're trying to win. That's the whole idea. They're not, the value of the Dodgers is not the same as the Red Sox. The Red Sox are, what did I read? Something like number 3, number 4. What is it? Number 3 globally among sports properties. Fenway Sports Group, which includes the Red Sox, the racing team, Liverpool, $6.6 billion. The Dodgers did not make the top 10, mainly because it's just a baseball property. But the Red Sox balked at this, instead trading him and David Price. Now, look, you want to trade David Price, I get it, even though that just basically means you're punting on 2020, which is part of the reason why I say fuck the Red Sox, because you're the Boston fucking Red Sox. You're a part of the Fenway Sports Group. You should be trying to fucking win every year. This is why I said, get ready, Liverpool fans. You're going to see what's going to happen here in a few years. The manager's going to bail. You're going to see a lot of fucking negative shit about the manager there. The team's going to, so there's going to be a serious downturn in the club for a couple of years. Maybe you'll get lucky and win the league again, and then all of a sudden back down again. So it's odd to me that this happened. The reaction to it is odd. Betts was asked during his press conference yesterday, would you have accepted the same deal if the Red Sox had offered it? And his response was, I think that's a very valid question. And he's not wrong. And why the fuck would he say any more than that? I mean, they offered him. What did they offer him? They offered him, I think, 10 years, $300 million, which in theory is a good contract. However, Manny Machado, who is not as good, had signed for that same figure. So Betts comes back and asks for 12 years, 420. And he essentially got 13 and 400 from the Dodgers. If you include the 1 year, 27 million he's getting this year. So, a little negotiation probably could have got it to 12 years, 400, 12 years, 11 years, 390, something like that. Who knows? A workable deal. You're only worth what the market is willing to pay. And the market in this case was willing to pay a 12-year, $365 million extension. Now, look, if the Dodgers win the World Series this year, who gives a fuck? This year's a wash. I think it's going to be somebody weird. Like, it wouldn't shock me if Oakland won the World Series this year, Tampa. Somebody that can pitch is really, and I don't think the Dodgers pitching is nearly as good as their lineup. Their lineup is stacked. But their pitching, meh. It's okay. Just meh. That's why I think like Oakland, Tampa, I think the White Sox are going to surprise people. I don't think they'll do much, but the Red Sox might win fucking 25 games. So hammer the under. Hammer, and that number keeps going down. It was at 31 like a week ago. I looked again today. It was at 29 and a half. Hammer the fuck out of that thing. Because this team stinks. They're going to lose games 10-9. I've said that 1,000 times. They've played 2 games in this, 2 warm-up games here in the last 2 nights. Against the fucking Blue Jays who stink. Their bullpen's going to give up 8,000 home runs in fucking 60 games. I've said I'm not going to watch. I may watch just to see them lose, and because there's nothing else on until hockey and basketball start. But it's going to be entertaining. Just like I was listening to Dan Le Batard the other day, best radio show on radio? I guess so, yeah. The impotence for me starting this stupid program is mainly from that show, that you can have a sports show that's not entirely about sports. In my case, it's not about fucking anything. But he's talking about Dan Snyder again, who is quickly becoming one of my favorite topics because he's a fucking idiot. He's like, how the hell is the NFL letting Dan Snyder essentially investigate himself? And it's a fair question. Is this the first time that there's been any sort of NFL-related problem where the team is allowed to sort of police themselves? I mean, I can't think of another. And if there are, they're not nearly as big as this. Think about it. If you want to think about it in Patriots terms, because they're the ones that are always in trouble, so that makes sense. Did the NFL let them do their own investigation of deflation science? No. Using cameras in multiple ways? No. But apparently constant harassment of women doesn't rank very high on the NFL's list of egregious violations. It's fucking stupid. The NFL, for all the good things that they do so many dumb things. And I think it's just sports in general. There are just so many really stupid fucking people in sports. Just, again, common sense doesn't fucking exist. Gone. Where the fuck is the commissioner right now on this thing? Haven't heard a peep from this douchebag. I'll be interested to see how they handle this new garbage from another shitty owner, Woody Johnson of the Jets. This guy is allegedly a piece of shit too. But I mean, how is there a conversation between the commissioner and Woody Johnson? Listen, Raj, I'll have somebody look into this. No need to worry. Thanks. What is that? I mean, a little due diligence would probably go a long way. Could save yourself a lot of fucking face if you have these shitbag owners and you can take care of them. Punish them, but nope. Sorry, you didn't have some dumb TV guy filming B-roll from the Bengals sideline. So yeah, that's a year and a half investigation. Not a year and a half, but whatever. 9 months, however fucking long it took for that shit to go down. That's where they'll spend their time on the Patriots TV guy getting B-roll. Constant sexual harassment of employees within an organization. Nope, sorry. No, we can't do that. Nope, sorry. Nope, that's not us. That's a team issue. It's fucking appalling. And look, I have never been a fan of the Washington racial slurs. So, I mean, honestly, I want to see them fail, and I want to see them punished harshly. Just as, I'm sure every other fan in football hates everything that the Patriots do. So, all right, whatever. But, yeah, one of these things that makes me scratch my fucking head. Like, how do we get to this point? And they still can't get their fucking shit together in terms of how to handle the Rona here. Because that's inevitable. I'm almost certain. Am I talking loud today? I feel like I'm being loud. If I've been loud, I apologize. I feel like I'm yelling into the microphone. I've had a lot of coffee this morning. I apologize. I'm fired up for some reason. I don't know why. Interesting. But sorry if I'm yelling. They're in trouble because you just know there's going to be an outbreak of this shit in the NFL. Too much close contact, sweat, spit, disgusting, gross people doing. I mean, they're disgusting and gross anyway, pandemic or no. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Somebody made the observation. Well, what happens if a wide receiver gets it, is asymptomatic, they have a meeting. So now you've got the coach and say 6 receivers. They're all in a room. And they're in a room for however long, film session, game planning, whatever. So let's say 2 to 3 hours. Well, now the agreement that they came up with is after the first couple of weeks, they're going to test every other day. Okay, so they test them. They're all negative. That afternoon, receiver meeting. Next day, receiver meeting. Next day, test. All 6 guys have it. So now, here you have a team that has to have all 6 of their receivers, their wide receiver coach, and whoever else happened to come in contact with them have to be quarantined for however long, a week, 2 weeks, whatever. They're going to miss 1 or 2 games. What on earth happens then? Can you imagine? How fucking funny is this? Let's say they test on a Wednesday. Tuesday's the off day, so they test Monday. Tuesday's the off day. Wednesday they come back, test them all. Boom, they got it. So they're gonna miss that week, and let's say the next week. The coming Sunday, you're fucked. I mean, you're pulling guys off the street, and it's gonna be whoever they're playing. Just fucking run heavy defense. Because who are they going to throw the ball to? You're packing the box. You're not even going to bother with the fucking secondary. What are you going to do? Like, you playing man, you putting an extra guy in the box, and you're just playing the run the whole time because he can't throw. It makes me like, how many of these teams are going to have like a fucking Rolodex of guys that know something about their offense in case something like this happens? Like, defensive players, I can kind of get. The secondary is a little tricky, maybe even linebackers, but like D-line and O-line guys, well, not so much O-line guys, but D-line guys, you can probably slot in street guys to a point. But if, wow, let me throw out a hypothetical. Let's say the Ravens, they're playing, I don't know what their schedule is. Let's say they're playing the Cowboys. Sunday Night Football. That's the NFL's big money game. Well, the entire Ravens receiving core is out, gone. I mean, do they flex a game into the Sunday night schedule on a Wednesday? Probably not. Can't imagine they'd have enough time to do that. Now they got to show that, and then the Cowboys go out. They probably win 10-0 because their offense will sputter against a decent defense. So, but all they would need to do is score once or twice, and then you're just keying on Lamar Jackson and keying on those running backs, and done deal. They only have 2 tight ends now instead of the 3 good ones they had last year. So, yeah, I can see that kind of scenario playing out. And then it just sort of leads you to wonder, like, what's the point where the league says, all right, this is not sustainable anymore? There has to be a point somewhere, no? Where it's simply no longer, because you're essentially playing fucking replacement players. If you have to deal with these, with just swaths of guys that are out. And I hope that doesn't happen. I really, really hope that doesn't happen. I hope against hope that all of these players, however many fucking thousands of players, hundreds of players, thousands, Jesus, David, however many hundreds of players are in the league, that 99% of them are smart enough to be careful and to not put everyone else in jeopardy. However, as we've seen with the general populace, that is unlikely. People are going to do dumb shit in dumb places. The Dolphins, for example, Miami right now is the fucking Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't talk this much and drink fucking coffee at the same time. God, I'm such a fucking fat, disgusting douchebag. Miami right now is the epicenter of the Rona. You're going to have fucking teams going in and out. The Dolphins are going to fucking spread that shit all over the place. That's why the Blue Jays aren't fucking playing games at home in Toronto, because Canada's like, no, fuck no. We don't want all these stupid Americans coming in and leaving and coming in and leaving and coming in and leaving. What are you, nuts? Wild shit. It's a crazy scenario to think about. And maybe that'll be the impetus to actually get people to take this fucking thing seriously when football has to say, yeah, we can't do it. College football, that's a whole other can of worms. There's more people on those teams, and you're going to have, oh, they're young and healthy. Man, fuck you. Once the SEC says, yeah, we can't play, then you're going to have the South take it seriously. Until then, you have these these socially responsible companies like Kroger and Publix and Walmart saying, yeah, you have to wear a mask. Oof. Shit's bad when Walmart is like, yeah, we're gonna have you got to wear a mask here. Yikes. Good luck enforcing that, Walmart. But yeah, the NFL is weird. And it's the kind of, the NFL is the topic that I could spend every episode talking about the weird fucking dumb shit with the NFL. I should start another podcast and just call it Dumb NFL Shit. I could probably get more than 3 listeners with that podcast. It would be interesting. I started listening to some other random podcasts from similarly sized outfits. One a little bit bigger than mine, and it made me scratch my head like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Good grief. I don't know. I think I put together a pretty reasonable product. No? Don't answer that. All right, I've kept you long enough. I appreciate you sticking with me through multiple rants today. Somewhat more organized. I actually typed up a bit of a script here. You could probably tell the difference between the parts that I was reading and the parts that I wasn't, although I was reading. I read very well today. So, one Barry Horowitz for me. There you go. Pat myself on the back. Yeah, did a hell of a job today. Good show. I think it's a good show. I hope my 3 listeners enjoy it. I'm sure my wife will, because she's my wife. She loves when I do dumb shit. Well, probably not, but you know, this whole thing is dumb. So, but listen, again, get in touch. Let's talk. Let's discuss. I've done some more research on some additional equipment, and I've said this for 3 weeks now, but look, I'm unemployed. So I can't be going out and buying fucking podcast equipment. I spent money on stickers and I fucked that up. But if you want a sticker, it's more of a laptop sticker. So if you want a sticker, let me know. I'll send you one. Free of charge. But you have to promise to plaster them in public places. That's the only rule. Twitter at Complaints Pod. Instagram, Complaints and Observations Pod. I swear to God, I'm going to change that. Show mail at complaintsandobservations.com. I have a Facebook page. Fuck Facebook. I have a YouTube page. There's nothing on it. If you have my phone number, send me a text. Let's be friends, huh? Speaking of friends, tell your friends. I say this at the end of every episode, and my guess is that no one gets this far to actually hear this part. But I implore you to tell your friends. If they're friends with you and you listen to the program, you would think that they value your opinion. And if you say, this podcast that I listen to is hot garbage, but the host guarantees 1 laugh per show or your money back, that should be enough. Just say, look, give him a shot. Listen to it. If you like it, great. Listen to more episodes. If you don't like it, let him know. There's that stupid link at the bottom of every show page that you can let me know via voicemail or some other medium or way. I don't know. I have a website, complaintsandobservations.com, that I've literally done nothing with for the last month or two. Useless. I really need to do something with it. I need to create some value for my 3 listeners. I don't know what it could be. But anyways, that's it. Too much coffee today. Whew, wow. I am caffeinated. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. Tell your friends. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Godspeed. Ta-ta.